Hello and welcome to the Scale Modelling Cafe. Welcome back to the cave. I thought on the back of my 2023 year in review video, I thought I'd put out a 2024 what's coming video. Not just talking about some of the modelling projects that are going to come along, but the direction the channel is going to go, how it's going to evolve, things like that. So I made a few notes, which is unusual for me because normally it's all on the top of my head and a bit waffly. Hopefully this one might be a little bit more structured. So overall, right, starting off with, it's a real cliche, isn't it? A New Year's resolution. It's not a New Year's resolution. It's more of a kind of slight change and a bit of an aim, I suppose, really, an aim. And my aim is to make more kits from the stash to try and reduce that stash. Some time ago I did a video on stashes, and from that the conclusion is that you'll get from watching that is I don't like having a stash because it takes up space, it costs money, and it's kind of dead money because it's just sat there. On the other hand, I have been caught out with my growing now stash, but it's still relatively meager by a lot of people's standards, is I want to build a particular kit. I haven't got it in the stash and I can't find one. Yeah, so pros and cons, but I do want to get that pile down, especially out in Saudi where I brought kits that I definitely do want to build, and then new shiny things come along and oh, squirrel, and I get distracted and it slowly builds up over there as well, which is a pain because I'm limited on space out there. So that's the plan, is to work through more kits of the stash. That having been said, I will be doing some new kits as they come along, and I'm going to take a few out with me. More of that later, but that's the plan. Right. On that then, what new kit in 2024 will I be getting? Difficult to say because they haven't been announced yet. But there's some that are really interesting that I'm kind of hoping that are coming out, that are going to come out. So first of all, Edward, because that's a bit more of a known quantity. I tend to get every new Edward kit release. That's not every boxing, that's every kit. So I've got a Zero in there. I've got a couple of Wildcats, for example, and I tend to go for the Overtrees because unless I'm going to build them straight away, I'll get the Overtrees because it's cheap. I can bung it up there, and then I'll get all the bits and pieces nearer to the time. So stuff that we know that is coming out next year that I am going to get is the P40 series, definitely. I'm not going to get the Razorback Mustang, primarily because I've got that in 72nd from the Armour Hobby kit, and that's in the stash, and 72nd is my preferred scale, I will say, but I've had the Bubble Top Mustangs up there. When it first came out, I got the Royal Class. That might even be one of the last Royal Classes they did. Special edition things. Anyway, yeah, that's been up there with lots of plans on what to do and not being touched. So I'm not going to get the Razorback one, but I am going to get the P40s when they come out. I am going to get the A6M5 Zero when it comes out. That will be a Overtrees. And I see where I am in the P40 stakes. I will maybe get the Profi Pack when it comes out. I don't know. I really don't know. But I really want to do the Edward P40 when it comes out, and I want to do 112 Squadron to replace the one that was in my collection that I sold. So I'm going to go down that route for Edward, and I'm going to continue getting the 72nd 109 series. The G56 is out. It's in stock at Haddon's. I've asked Andy Antics if he can get me a box before I go back on the 29th to see if he can. And if he can, great. If he can't, doesn't matter because I'm not going to do it before I come home next in March from Ramadan anyway. So that's Edward. Airfix wise, again, we don't know what they're going to be bringing us, but if they bring us a Hampton next year And if they bring us along those Blenheim in 48th, I will be getting those ones. That's kind of all I can think that they could do that might interest me. I don't know whether they're coming or not. If they're not coming, then obviously I won't do them. But those are two subjects that I really, really want Airfix to do. And if they do them, I'm going to drop everything and I'm going to build those kits. So that's the plan from them. If anything else comes out from all my other favourite manufacturers, Armour Hobby, I'll just drop everything to get an Armour Hobby kit. Sorry. So we'll see what they bring us next year as well. But as I said, the main aim next year is to drive that stash down. Okay, right. Generic stuff then. So, videos that are going to be coming. I will be releasing a series of 2024 new range, new kit videos when the manufacturers tell us what they're going to be doing. So Airfix traditionally do a live video. I shall be tuning into that. And then I'll put out a reaction video straight away to that one. Edward, likewise, in the newsletter, will tend to tell us. Now, last time, they went to the a model show somewhere, might have even been their own E-Day, and they gave a presentation on everything that's coming up. So, who knows from Edward how we're going to be told, but as soon as they do tell us in whatever format, I'll bring you a video on my reaction, because they are one of my favourite manufacturers. Talking of favourite manufacturers, Armour Hobby, we don't know how they're going to do it, if they're going to do an announcement, what they're going to do for the year, or what they traditionally do is just trickle feed throughout the year what they're going to tell us. So, who knows? And normally, Trumpeter Hobby Boss, their 2024 catalogue gets leaked, and it kind of spreads around the hobby on the internet, and before any sort of official announcement kind of thing. So however that happens, I'll bring that to you. I do enjoy doing those videos because I get excited about what's coming up. I'll be releasing a series of kits from the cabinet, some of my favourite kits. I've got, I think, about 3 or 4 already uploaded, scheduled for release to trickle those out. They seem fairly popular actually, and I enjoy talking about my favourite models from the cabinet. So you can expect those, and also some various chat videos as well, when something pulls my pubes or something and gets me rolled up. I'll bring a reaction video to that, or if any idea just pops into my head, I shall be doing that. Excuse me, I am starting to come down with a bit of a cold, which is a pain in the bum, because as I film this is Christmas Eve, and I don't want to go down with some lurgy over Christmas. One thing as well I do want to do next year is some standalone tutorials. So maybe something like painting ejection seats, painting World War II cockpits, using masks, chipping, filters and oils. I had a lot of good feedback about the use of filters on the Armour Hobby Hurricane video. Seen quite a few people didn't know what they were, or didn't really had heard it and kind of knew what they were but didn't know how it all worked, and things like that. So what that will allow me to do, I think, is rather than doing a project from start to finish and breaking it down as I have done, what I might do is take a model and pick a kind of theme for that model and just concentrate on that, as well as doing like your traditional YouTuber type video from start to finish. It is a hell of a lot of work for the editing. So for example, for the F14 Tamiya F14 video, all I've edited on that is the ejection seats so far, and it's taking a lot of time. And to be honest, is it fun? No, it's not. It's an absolute chore, frankly. What is fun is publishing the videos and getting the feedback and discussing them and things like that, and that makes it all worthwhile, is your feedback. And it's for me, what I like to do is to give something back to the hobby for free. It's why I do this. I enjoy the whole, sort of as a whole, the whole YouTube process. But that editing the build videos takes a lot of time and soaks up a lot of mojo. So certainly at the beginning of the year, I'm going to stick with the current format, and I'm going to go into the actual projects I'm going to be doing throughout the year in a moment. But I do want to kind of slightly move away and modify the way I do things. So that maybe I will, like I say, take a project, do something specific on that project, do a standalone video on that, and then just edit the whole thing together like a skeleton Plasmo type, thing. Maybe. I don't know yet. I haven't fully decided. We'll see how that evolves. And I do want to evolve things. Right, so that neatly segues on to the actual projects I'm going to be doing next year. So this is subject to change, all right? And what I'll do is go through some of the new things that I'm going to take back with me that I'm really quite excited about. They're going to be near the top, and then some of the stuff that's in the stash back in Saudi that I'm going to slowly work through. So I think, and I said, like I say, subject to change, I think the first one I'm going to be doing is an Eduard Spitfire Mark V from Malta. In fact, I may do two, just film one and just build another one just for me. Yeah, I'm doing that in collaboration, like a buddy build, with Rick Lawler from Propaganda, the Propaganda channel. Now, I've known Rick for quite a long time, just on the internet. I've never met him. I'd love to one day. That would be amazing. But we're going to do a buddy build collab type thing on an Eduard Spitfire. And I suggested Malta because I've got this real thing about Malta aeroplanes. Obviously, the Armour Hurricane I've just done was a Malta-based aeroplane. And in the Paul Lucas's Colour Conundrum books, he's gone right through the Malta Spitfires and all their camouflage schemes. And I also just picked up... Sorry, I'm filming this in my phone and I just twatted it and it went flying. Right, I've also got this book that you would have seen on the unboxing video, the Brian Couchy book, which again is... now, I think... So Paul Lucas quotes this book in his articles, his Colour Conundrum articles, his colour, which are bunged all together in the books. And he's done some further research of some of the primary documents and done some more digging. So some of these may not be correct, but what they do have in here are the photographs. And it's really interesting to go through Brian Couchy's work as well and knit it together with the Paul Lucas book and come out with some stuff. Now, that's not to say all this is wrong. Far from it. Most of it agrees with Paul Lucas, but Paul Lucas has just taken that step on. So that's going to be that. I'm hoping that Rick is going to put his in like a little diorama setting because that's his bag. He is a armor and diorama builder. So he's stepping out of his comfort zone and he's going to be doing, putting his in a little kind of vignette / diorama, which is going to be really, really cool. Mine is just going to be standalone, but I might, if I can, take a few bits of stuff that I've got to take back with me, and I might have a go at just doing a bit of a base. We shall see. So Rick's very much stepping out of his comfort zone into aeroplanes, and yeah, I'm firmly within mine. So I might step out of mine a little bit in solidarity, and I might have a go at a base if I can get some stuff back. Obviously, it's a bit more awkward for me. So I'm hoping that's going to be the first project of 2024. Kind of depends on Rick's situation and where he is, and obviously we do want to do it together. And what I'll do is I will release my videos at the same time as his. I'm going to stick with my format, so I'm going to do obviously do the introduction. I'm going to do one on the cockpit, the construction, and I think what's going to be the most interesting in that is the painting and weathering. So yeah, that's going to be the plan for the first one. Right, the next one is the Tamiya Spitfire Mark 8, but I can convert it using the Laminar Flow Designs conversion into the Highback 14. Really excited to do that. I've got a load of Barracuda cast bits, detail bits. I've got Matthew from LFD. I've got his cockpit set as well, and I've got lots of bits and pieces that is hopefully going to result in a highly detailed model of that one. At the moment, the plan is to do a Belgian aeroplane, but you know me, I'm easily distracted, so who knows at the end of the day. But I'd like to do a Belgian one because Matthew is from Belgium, and they got absolutely minging even though they weren't in wartime service. So that's also going to be in the plan. The other one that's near the top of the list is the Trumpeter Fulmer. Now, I've ordered so Eduard have just released their detail sets for the Fulmer. I ordered it yesterday from Hannants. I'm desperately hoping I'm going to get those bits before I go back to Saudi. If they don't arrive, it won't be coming, and I'm going to maybe break into the stash. Really looking forward to do the Fulmer. I've got, based on some research by Paul Lucas, a couple of interesting ideas for how I'm going to do that model using my masks, obviously, and from what I've had a look in the box already, it looks a stunning kit. I need to have a bit of a study of the shapes and things like that because, you know, Trumpeter Hobby Boss are notorious for cocking up British naval subjects. So we shall have a look at that. But really looking forward to doing that. And no, I'm not going to be doing it all folded up because only weirdos do folded wings on naval aeroplanes. Just completely spoils the lines of the aeroplane. And yeah, it just looks weird. So it will be fully spread. Don't chuck spears at me. It's only a bit of banter, all right? I'm not being serious. Only mucking about. So yeah, you can expect that as well. Right, and the other one, so these are all the new sort of things that are coming, and I've got a lot of mojo for, I'm very excited for, so they're going to be near the top of the list, is I'm going to be converting the Eduard 109 G2, I think, in 48 scale to the HA112 K1L tripler, which was the precursor to the Buton. So I've mentioned before that I did buy the Mulberry 3D printed conversion kit, which was undersized, and just hugely disappointed in that. And it's not that it needs modeling skill to fit, it's undersized considerably. We're talking 3 to 4 millimeters, well, about 3 mil on the where the bottom of the wing sort of step is, and then the let me do it like this. So the bottom of the wing here, and then this is the cowling going forward with the engine in it that kind of goes up towards the spinner. We're talking a 3 mil gap all the way along the bottom. There is no way that it will ever fit. No way. And weirdly, the upper cowling is a little bit too wide, and it's at the correct depth. And it just doesn't match up anywhere near with panel lines on the nose. So it's what it looks like is that forward cowling over the machine guns, the 109 machine guns, sort of forward of the windscreen, that seems to be correct. And then the nose is about, like I say, about 20% too small. The cockpit is ridiculous. The seat is about half. It's almost 72nd scale. It's ridiculous. And the cockpit floor is way too narrow. And the bit behind the cockpit is, you're talking 2 to 3 mil gap all the way around it, which I don't know anything about 3D printing, but he's got his XYZ blah out. Which is a shame because it's quite expensive. So I've gone out and I've bought the SBS set. You would have seen that in the unboxing video. And I'm hoping that even though that is designed for the Tamiya kit, that the dimensions are so close that I can, use some basic modelling skills and get that to fit, because I think it's a very, very good looking aeroplane. So I'm going to do that as well. So that is kind of the first 4 kits, and I normally tend to build one a month. At the moment, that's so I did 12 last year, and but there's a couple of things. So we're in the process of moving airfields at work. So we're actually flying in the week from the new airfield, but we are still living in Riyadh. And that's where I get my modelling done, is in my days off. But I am permanently moving up to the new airfield. So that's going to be very disruptive. I don't have too much stuff. It's mainly the wife's clothes and her toiletries that are going to be the bulk of the contents of the lorry. Because she comes out 3 or 4 times a year with various combinations of kids. And so all in all, that's going to be very disruptive, and it is going to have a knock-on effect on the modelling. Hopefully not too bad though. So that's going to delay things. Also, I've got 6 weeks off from early March, so there's going to be no modelling there at all. What I want to do, the plan is if I can kick the editing can down the road, still have enough stuff to release every week, but then save up and catch up a lot of that in Ramadan, my 6 weeks off, then I'll do that. And then hopefully when I come back from Ramadan, I can start smashing out the modelling again. That's going to be the plan. So kits in the stash that I really want to get done is I've got an Eduard Tempest I want to do in 48th. I've got the Airfix B25 in 72nd scale that I'm in the process of riveting. So that'll be ready to go. And I've got all the aftermarket bits for that. So very excited to do that. Some great weathering potential. I've got the Armour Hobby P39 all riveted and ready to go. I've got other kits out there that I want to do is the Armour Hobby Wildcat Martlet. I nearly said Wildcat Martlet. That's out there, and that is pretty much what other kits I've got out there. That's going to take up quite a lot actually. So that will significantly reduce the stash. But with all with that stash lot and this and the Clearprop MiG-23. So that's 9. So that's most of the year gone already without any new kits. So we'll just see how things go. All right. There we are. So that is 2024 in about 24 minutes. Looking at that, yeah, really excited to see the new releases, what's coming, and I'll bring you those. I'm very excited to get started on some of these Spitfires, which are going to be first up. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next year. Cheers, bye-bye.